All right, welcome to this video. We're going to talk about why online marketing may not have worked for your business in the past, and then we're going to talk about how to easily fix it forever this time around. All right, so if you've been following along from the previous trainings, then you already have a very clear understanding of exactly what to do and what not to do to position your business everywhere your best prospects are looking for the products and services you offer, and you already know the secrets to outperforming the biggest players in your market, meaning you can outmarket them and generate much higher return on your advertising dollars than they would even believe possible, which is awesome. But this is usually the point where we're talking with new potential clients and we hear something along the lines of, yeah, that's all well and great, but I've tried, XYZ before and it just didn't work for our business. And my typical response is something like, yeah, that's totally understandable, and I'm pretty sure I can tell you why. Let's start with a few questions. And then that leads us into a deeper conversation about their previous strategy, and that usually gets a light bulb to kind of pop in their head, and then in a moment, they totally get it, why it didn't work. And it's awesome to see this happen, and the business is typically never the same again, right? As an owner, they really start to understand how online marketing works, and everything changes for them. So here's a quick example, right? We talk with a lot of contractors who say they've tried Google Ads in the past, right? And that it was a waste of money for them. Well, when we start asking questions like, okay, well, what targeting options did you leverage? Ad extensions? What kind of ad extensions did you use? What type of ad creatives did you test? And what split tests were you running? What was your remarketing strategy? Did you run retargeting campaigns on other platforms from the audiences you built on Google, etc.? You get the picture, right? But in all cases, they really don't know the answers to most, if not all, of these questions. We then drill down into their day parting strategies, what phone scripts they were using, the landing pages that they promoted to, and what we find in nearly 100% of cases is that they weren't really using the tool at all. They were just kind of scratching the surface and burning a lot of cash in the process. It's no wonder it, quote unquote, didn't work. So you get it, right? When it comes to positioning your business online, you shouldn't ask your friends for help, you shouldn't work with a general agency, and you definitely shouldn't try to do it yourself. If you already know that, then you're halfway there. You've most likely seen the results from some of your own customers, right, who tried to do a job themselves, only to have them call you to bail them out when they finally realized that they were in way over their heads. We've heard tons of very interesting stories from our contractors, okay? But I digress. So if you've tried in the past to take control of your online marketing and the results were less than stellar, I want you to know it's not your fault. Let me share with you the 4 reasons why it most likely didn't work, and then I'll tell you exactly what to do about it so that next time you try, it does. So let's start. Number 1, as I've already touched on a moment ago, the number 1 reason we see for failed online marketing attempts is simply a lack of understanding of the advanced features of the marketing platforms, which is where 80% of the actual results come from for our clients. The reality is that anyone can launch, an ad campaign on Google or Facebook or any other paid advertising platform nowadays. Platforms like Google have developed specific solutions to get more business owners trying to run their own ads. They call them smart campaigns. And to be honest, running these is better than not doing anything at all, but it's very, very unlikely that you'll actually be able to run profitably or at any scale, right? So using a tool like this versus leveraging the full platform would be the same as taking a top fuel funny car, which are made to go super fast in a straight line for a quarter mile, and trying to win a race with it by competing in the Indy 500, where cars go super fast, but they go in circles for 500 miles, right? You have literally 0 chance of winning. And in less extreme case, right, if you run campaigns in a full account, not using smart campaigns, but actually using a full-blown AdWords account or Google Ads account, you're most likely following all of the recommended actions for your account. And still, you're probably seeing miserable results, or you had seen miserable results. Well, this is because you're following advice without understanding the deeper data. Google is in the business of making money with their ads, right? 80% of Google's revenue currently comes from their ad platform. platform. It's a lot of money. Typically, actually, I think last year alone, it was $147 billion that they made from their Google Ads platform. So although they want you to succeed, their primary objective is to run a profitable business. I've heard it said that taking advice from Google on how to manage your ad campaigns is like taking advice from the IRS on how to file your taxes. Now, all I'm saying is that you probably want someone who knows what they're doing running your ads. And that's a simple fix, right? Okay, moving on. Number 2, the second reason you may have had some challenges with your online marketing is that you had a general agency working on your marketing strategy, or worse, you had a service-focused agency helping you. You know the ones. They're the best at running ads or doing SEO or fixing your citations. The main point is that they try to convince you that the service they fulfill is the end-all, be-all, best way to invest your marketing dollars. In this case, you should turn 180 degrees and run fast in the other direction. First off, and I'll cover this more in the next point, you never want to rely on just one service to promote your business. Okay, more on that in a moment. But besides that, agencies that focus on their service over your market are destined to fail. Knowing how to do SEO or how to run Google Ads is a great skill, that's great, but for the same reason working with general agencies is a bad idea, it's more important to know how to leverage these services in very specific markets. The market is what dictates what will work and what features you need to leverage. As a really simple example, the look and feel of your creatives you use for a roofing company are going to be wildly different than for a water treatment company or a landscaper, right? Makes sense? You need to know what creatives, what messaging voice, what keywords and negative keywords perform best to the very specific customer you're targeting. And the customers for these two businesses, believe it or not, are significantly different and respond to very different types of messaging, okay? If you're working with a general or service-based agency, they're going to need to figure all of these things out and spend a lot of money doing so because you may be their only client in that market and geography. Guess who pays for all of that, figuring it out? You guessed it, you do. And it can sometimes take months, like 6 or more months, to start narrowing these things down. That's months of wasted marketing spend and massive lost opportunity cost for you and your business. You're slowly falling behind while your competitor is stealing your would-be, should-be customers. So again, this is an easy fix. Only work with agencies who have experience in your market and know your customers. Okay, number 3. This next one is overlooked by many businesses, and the best way to get a handle on this is to think about your own buying behavior. The challenge may be that you simply didn't understand the importance of multi-touchpoint marketing until now, or you simply didn't leverage the power of being omnipresent. I know those are big words, but let's just dig in, okay? First, let's clarify what we mean by multi-touchpoint. In a nutshell, it just means that more often than not, prospects need to see your business more than once before they make a decision to buy from you. How often have you seen an ad for a business and decided to work with them immediately? Probably not very often, especially for high-value services like you provide. The reality is we often need to see a company multiple times, the most popular stat is 7 times, before making a buying decision. For our contractors, we find it usually takes more like 3 to 4 times. After a prospect has seen your business 3 or 4 times, they start to have faith that you are a legitimate business and that perhaps they can trust you. We'll talk about another major factor to trust building in the next point, but just be aware, you won't get the majority of your would-be best customers to reach out to you if they only see your business once. And even if they do reach out, they may not give you the job. So, multi-touch just means you show up a few different ways for prospects. What about omnipresence? Well, that just means you show up not only a few times, but in this case, in a few places, ideally everywhere your prospects go. Imagine, after a prospect views your ad, they then see you on social media while browsing their newsfeed. They see you when visiting a website where they're researching their next project. They even see your business when watching videos on YouTube, right? All of a sudden, there's this sense that, hey, these guys must be legit. I see them everywhere. And that prospect is literally 100 times more likely to reach out to you for a quote request or simply to enlist your services immediately. This is just how the internet and human psychology works. So you need to be sure you show up everywhere. One platform or strategy is not going to get you the results you need. You need to leverage them all, show up everywhere, all the time. We'll share a bit more about how you can do this quickly and affordably. It's not as difficult as it sounds, but we'll show you that in the next video. But for now, let's cover the last stumbling block we often see first. So number 4, the other major factor we see that may have prevented you from getting measurable results online is that you didn't have a compelling enough offer or you didn't have enough social proof, positive social proof. These are 2 highly critical factors to creating a successful marketing campaign. It stands to reason that your marketing message needs to be compelling enough to get prospects to take action. It needs to stand out in a crowded marketplace and to simply be different than what everyone else is offering. We often see businesses just copy the offers that the quote-unquote leaders are using, but this simply doesn't work anymore. You want to set yourself apart, so take the time to create an offer that you yourself would take even if you weren't familiar with your business and the quality of your service. And a quick note on social proof. We all make decisions about a company based on what others have to say about it. Don't kid yourself about this. You know it's true. So it's your responsibility to make sure that you get your happy customers to leave reviews for your business online and in the most important places like on Google and Facebook. Now, we have systems to simplify this process and to give you an opportunity to get in front of any customers who are less than 100% satisfied before they leave a review, but you don't need anything complicated here. Simply ask your customers if they're 100% happy with your work, and when they say yes, immediately ask them to go online and post a review on Google on your Google business listing. Let them know it would mean a lot to you because it really will. Okay, that's the last one. So these 4 reasons why account for about 95% of cases where we do some digging when a new potential client says, oh, I tried that before and it didn't work. At the end of the day, there's a big difference between giving something a try and really putting something to work for your business. Okay, so knowing the problem is one thing, but how can we actually fix it? Like, you know what you need to do, but how do you actually get it all done? And that's a great question. And we're going to cover that in more detail in the very next video. If you're interested in talking with a member of our team now, you can book a free discovery meeting somewhere around this video. There will be a button or a link where you can go book a meeting with a member of our team, and we'd be happy to talk to you about our program and how we help businesses just like you to excel and become the #1 dominant player in your local market. So find that link, book a call. We'd love to talk with you, and I'll see you in the next video.